Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of Leonard Leans Left, while it's still legal. Still legal today, but a little less legal than it was yesterday. Landscape we're living in here. Trump land is becoming an interesting place. How are you? Well, if you don't know, the Supreme Court yesterday, 5-4, says that he can use the Insurrection Act and he can deport people to El Salvador if they're Venezuelan gang members, but they must have a hearing, as I've been saying all along. But what does that mean? I mean, they already they already sent a bunch of people with no hearing down there. And we know for a fact that 60 Minutes did a story, said they couldn't find criminal records on 75% of those people. 75%. That's what I told you before. These aren't gang members. These are just people that they rounded up so they can make a little reality TV show. A little prison, little cops action kind of movie, so they can intimidate people and scare them. And now the Supreme Court said that they can still use this act and deport people, but that these people have to have a hearing. Now, what that means, we have yet to know. They're still appealing, trying to get that guy that they said they shouldn't have sent down there home. And of course the Supreme Court stopped that too, so he doesn't have to be here by, like, he was supposed to have been here yesterday by midnight, but the Supreme Court put a pause on that order, so now he's stuck there indefinitely until they do something. And Trump administration doesn't seem too keen to get him out. Why do you think that is? Because I said they don't want him coming back here and telling you what a hellhole that place is and how everybody that there is fucking innocent, not members of a gang, and that they lied to you. I've never seen people that can lie so much, ever. And Trump said today, right out of his own mouth, we're getting $2 billion a day already from these tariffs. Like, dude, the tariffs don't even go into effect till midnight. Now, maybe some of these tariffs that he put on before, but I don't know if you know, I'm not too good at math. But he just burned up $10 trillion. $10 trillion in the last 4 days, basically. Value of the stock market, okay? And now he says he's getting $2 billion a day. How long? How many? How many days does that take before you get to $10 trillion? You can see he's an excellent businessman. It's like, it's just like Doge, fire all the tax collectors, and now they won't be collecting so much tax, and now they're going to be making less revenue. Even costs even more than the firings that they did. These are not smart people. And then Elon Musk is calling Peter Navarro an idiot, and he's calling him an idiot. Like, they're both fucking idiots. Hey, Julia. So it's like two idiots calling each other idiots. Like, at least Musk seems to understand that this tariff thing is a terrible idea and going down this road. So here's the deal. So Trump's angry at China because they put on a retaliatory tariff. So he said, I'll retaliate again, 50%. On top of whatever they already had. Anyway, the total tariff on China now is, what goes into effect at midnight tonight, is 104%. 104% tariff on all goods from China. And he says, they better get to the table. Blah, blah, blah. I don't think that Trump understands that the Chinese will let their own people starve to death before they bend their knee to you. I mean, I really don't think. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Julia. Might have load off my fucking mind. Yeah, the Chinese have a history of they have 1 billion people that they don't give a fuck. You think you're gonna hurt them? He thinks he can wait them out. They're not gonna do a fucking thing. They said they'll lock down if they have to, and I said let their own people starve to death before they bend their knees to Donald Trump. This is how you know that he doesn't know anything about how the world works, for real. He lives in some deluded fantasy that America is all-powerful and Trump is the smartest guy on earth, and everybody's going to bend down to do whatever he wants. And here's something you might not know. Now, I know I said a bunch of times, it seems like he's a Russian agent and that he might be working for Vladimir Putin. And I know that I'm crazy for saying that. But today, they say he's going to pull 10,000 troops out of Eastern Europe. Now, again, I'm not saying that he isn't a Russian agent, that he wouldn't just do everything that Vladimir Putin wants him to do. He wouldn't just, open the door for him to start invading countries in Europe, The Europeans, I said, they better get moving, because they could be in serious trouble here. The only person playing chess is Vladimir Putin. Trump is a pawn in chess game being played by people way smarter than him and way, believe it or not, more evil than him. Trump is evil, but he's stupid evil. He's a fucking moron. He wants to be evil, but he's not really, I don't think he can stand there and watch a bunch of people get shot like Vladimir Putin could. I don't think that he's on that level. Trump is a fake tough guy. Where Putin is a real tough guy. Putin probably personally hang you with piano wire or some shit. And not blink an eye, and then have a glass of champagne and go to bed. That's the kind of guy you're talking about. A monster. Trump is a monster, but I said he's a big stupid monster. He's not that kind of monster. Trump ain't got those kind of balls or, the stomach for some shit like that. But these guys, though, do. And like I said, they got all these guys in their pocket. They got everybody in place that they groomed all these people up, and we fucking voted them right in. This is the dumbest. I said, this country, I said before, this system is not strong enough to protect itself, and the people are too fucking stupid to fully comprehend what's going on. Everyone's an economics expert all of a sudden, and you listen to them for 5 seconds, and you go, you have no idea how economics even works, right? I mean, oh yeah, we're gonna bring these factories, we're gonna bring them back. It's they're all wistful for some mythical, glorious past that, first of all, it wasn't that glorious. People had to fight wars to get wages working in these fucking factories and coal mines and shit that they act like, oh, that was the glorious time of the, when those guys were shooting each other in West Virginia over fucking coal mine wages, people were actually fighting the coal mining company. A war, mind you. They call it a war. It's a war. And a bunch of people got killed, and it ended when there was a big fire in some meeting or something. This has gotten out of hand. It's like, yeah, it's gotten out of hand. But anyway, why do you think coal miners make good money? Because they fucking fought a war for it. And they act like that this is the glorious past that we that we need to return. Back when America was great, when we were killing each other in the streets over wages. That's why they want to scrub out the Smithsonian now. They want to try to erase our real history and replace it with some bullshit. Which to me is complete insanity. Even more than just wanting to erase history is insane. But the fact that you think you could do that now, with computers and the internet everywhere, and like people are not going to know the real truth, if they want to. I mean, I guess there's a lot of people that don't want to know. That's why the misinformation bubble exists. That people want to be told what they think is real. And like I said, perception is reality. If you can alter millions of people's perception of what reality really is, then you got Fox News. It was like today. Listen, my mom turned on the Fox News. That fucking jerk off Will Kane, whoever the fuck he is. Again, I still haven't figured out who the fuck Will Kane is. He just like appeared out of nowhere. Like opened up a box. And here's Will Kane. And you're like, who the fuck is Will Kane? I don't know, but now he's on the 5 o'clock, Fox News hour. Or I'm sorry, not 5. That's the 5. He's on at like 4, I think. Between 4 and 5. Maybe he comes on while I'm at, before I get home from work. So maybe he's on 3 to 5. Maybe he has a 2-hour show. I don't know. Who's this guy? He's a younger guy, so they just, like I said, they groomed him up in the Fox News douchebag factory. Anyway, he's on there talking about how Trump's going to put China in a bad place, and I'm saying to myself, none of these people understand the Chinese, do they? You know anything about the history of China? They will kill their own people. They don't give a fuck. And you think that they're going to let Donald Trump push them around? I told you, Japan, South Korea, and China have already made a trade deal. They hate each other. They hate each other. Goes back hundreds of years, 1,000 years. They hate each other deeply, historically. But they're getting together because they know that Trump is fucking nuts. And he's an asshole. They're not going to bend to him. That's what I'm saying. Everybody knows that Trump is just an asshole. It's not like, oh, he has some he's a benevolent guy, and like, even though he's doing this crazy shit, that he needs, deep down inside, he's a good guy, and maybe they'll make a deal with him. No, Trump is a shitbag person that everyone hates, except for 35% of this country. I was thinking about that today. Like, what happens when your country becomes unrecognizable to you, and the country that you love and you grew up in, you're supposed to be patriotic, right? You're supposed to love your country. But what if you just decide, you know what, this country's become something that I can't support. It's like I can't get down with it. Like, this place is filled with ignorant fucking assholes. Racists, and then you say that, and they go, you just say that because you disagree with my tax policy. It's like, no. I really can give a fuck less what you think about your tax policy, dude. It's the fact that you're a fucking racist. And you're too stupid, like I said, people in this country are too stupid to understand what they're giving away. What they're giving away is what they sold to us our entire lives. This is what makes America the greatest country in the world, is that we're free and that we're protected by all these laws and due process, and there won't ever be a guy like this running around sending people off to fucking El Salvador prison without fucking court hearings or anything. You know, like that. That's the... Besides that, how is America any different than any other country? Right? That's what makes us different, right? And if we turn into this, then we're just another shitbag fucking country, aren't we? Nothing exceptional about it whatsoever, huh? Just kind of another run-of-the-mill fucking, you know, sheep-filled fucking field. With our golden-haired savior, fucking biggest moron on the planet, reality TV show host, with a cabinet of people stacked with reality TV show hosts and possibly questionably Russian agents. It's like, how did this happen? I don't know. I would like to take 1 second for a moment of brevity and say, keep your head up to that dude last night in that basketball game at the end of the game. That's a bad way to end the game. Don't let that be the defining memory of your basketball playing career, because you, like I said, you got away the championship game. You did well. It'll be hard for a minute, but don't watch the tape. At least not the tape of the end. Hey, Julia, it's your birthday. Julia Creedor's 55th birthday today. Happy birthday. Seriously, thank you for watching. I do appreciate you watching. You're my most loyal watcher. Sometimes, I don't know if people know that they could chime in. They said, sometimes I'll be going along and reading your things, and Martin will show up, or Kenneth, or Vinny sometimes. They don't talk too much. Ken talks when he's watching. But do, like I said, say something, or if you have questions or whatever, you know, I'm down. I want this show to be interactive. I don't understand. So anyway, he's talking about pulling 10,000 troops out of Eastern Europe. This is not a game anymore. Like, he's wrecked all of our alliances, and he's shaking the very foundation of NATO, and now he's talking about pulling 10,000 troops out of Europe, which is what prevents Vladimir Putin from invading these other countries, because American troops are there, and so he's not going to do that. But if you pull the troops out, now you're leaving them vulnerable. And J.D. Vance and them have already made it known they're not going to help them, because the truth is they're fascists like Putin. That's why they're all hanging, you know, in every country. That's why they support Marine Le Pen in France, and that's why they support the the AfD in Germany? I don't know if that's the name of it. Anyway, the German fucking Nazis. They're Nazis, bro. And they have a network all across the country. That's it. Steve Bannon got kicked out of Italy for trying to set up a training camp for Nazis in an old abandoned castle. How Himmler of him. I mean, it's unbelievable. But anyway, the truth is, they want the Nazis to be in power. They're not democratic people. That's what this is all about. They're going to align themselves with the Russians. I don't know why he's fucking banging on China so hard. That's the part of it that doesn't make any sense. See, just when you think that you go, okay, maybe Trump is smarter than you think, and he's going to burn all of our alliances and then align himself with Russia and China. But then he goes and kicks China in the balls. Now what I think is that Trump is deluded into thinking that America is all powerful. And that we're so powerful that people are just going to have to bend over to us. And that's not the case. It might have once been the case, but it is not the case anymore. Like I said, we can't even win a war if we fought up. I went through this on the show. Like, you know, when we fight alone, we don't do too good. The only wars that we win are coalition wars. And if you ain't got no allies, you ain't got no coalition. And if you're just fighting alone, like I said, we ain't done too good. Our record ain't that great. We're like one of them UFC fighters that gets to fight Chuck Liddell, or Chuck Liddell versus Pippi Rodriguez. And then Pippi gets beat up in the first round. That's kind of what we are, It's just it's like I was talking about with China. Okay, that's exactly what Vietnam did to us. They said, well, you got a lot of money and you can fight. Same as the Afghanistan people. They're like, you can't stay here forever, or we'll wait you out. You spend a bunch of money and you might kill a bunch of people, but we'll kill a bunch of your people, and eventually you'll leave. We win. And that's the same thing that China's going to do in this economic war. They're not going to fucking... What I said, first of all, they already made other deals with people that they would never trade with. So, and now Europe's talking about China. China just dumped their stuff they would have sold here, just sell it to Europe. And Europe will become like America was, where they have a bunch of cheap goods and everybody can pretend like that they're living high on the hog, even though they're really not. It's all an illusion. And they're like, oh, well, now I can afford iPads. And I mean, I used to hear rumors. I don't know if that's true because I never went to Europe, but they were like, in some places like Russia and places like that, it was hard to get blue jeans. So if you had Levi's or something, you could sell your Levi's for like a massive amount of money, like $500 a pair, because they were hard to get. So people wanted them and they were expensive. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's something that I always heard, like when I was younger, that they were like, if you go to like, especially the Eastern European countries, the old Soviet bloc countries that are still kind of poor because once they broke off from the Soviet Union, they, like a lot of them had, Yugoslavia had several civil wars. I mean, Europe is a complicated place, especially Eastern Europe. But because of all the warring and switching hands and the fighting for independence, and then once they get independence, they're like, well, who's in charge? Serbs or Croatians? I don't know, we have to fight again. A lot of warring, And see, that's the thing, is after World War II, the NATO alliance has kept all that kind of in a hole, except for, like I said, Yugoslavia for the most part. And Putin, trying to invade Georgia and shit like that. But, I mean, mostly the fall of the Soviet Union was actually kind of peaceful. I mean, as far as, shit like that goes. It wasn't like it was full-scale war. They just kind of broke up the Soviet. They said, well, we can't really afford to keep it going this way, so we break it up. Countries became independent. They weren't independent before, so, these countries, I mean, Ukraine has always been kind of like back and forth. Like, it was a country, but then it was taken over by the Russians. It was part of Russia. And and then it wasn't, and then it was again, and then, it was like it's very complicated, way more complicated than I just said. I think Trump or J.D. Vance really comprehend. These people are fucking, like I said, reactionary fascists. They believe in well, J.D. Vance believes in whatever he's got to believe in to get to get himself to wherever he's trying to get. I've never seen a person like, he has no personality or morals or qualms about lying. Like, he will just adopt whatever he needs to adopt. He's like a chameleon, The more he's around, the more I'm like, this guy is very dangerous. Even more dangerous than Trump, because he's smarter than Trump, but he's still not as smart as he thinks he is. I mean, he's obviously a smart guy, but he's also a monster with no morals or gumptions. But all these people lie with impunity. Like, I've never seen anything like it. Like, they lie so much now that you can't even believe anything they say, really. I mean, if you live with someone and every day you came home and you knew that all they were doing every day constantly was lying to you, after a while you're like, you just stop listening to what they're saying, because you're like, I don't know what's true and what isn't, because you're so full of shit. Like, and all these people in the Trump administration are like this. They have no and like, there's the people I have on TV, like Scott. There's this guy on CNN called Scott Jennings. He's from Kentucky. And he's just a paid shill, but it's the same thing. It's like, I can't even listen to you talking, because I don't believe that these are even your opinions. Because when you can never say anything bad about what's happened, and you're gonna go to your grave defending it. Someone's paying you to do that. Like, at a certain point, there's no way to objectively look at what's going on right now and say, yeah, this is fine. This is all going to work out. It's just like, I think that they believe it on some level, but it's the level of delusion of, like, they're like walking into a volcano and going, it's going to stop erupting before we get to the middle. I mean, I don't know. I mean, but you've elected all these people, are rich. All of them. And this should also dispel the myth that rich people are smarter than anybody else, because most of these people boarded the money. They never had to do anything. And they walked their way through life, and they have college degrees, but they didn't really work, And now they're telling you. I was reading a story. Now, this was the claim of the story, but that Peter Navarro had written a book about economics, and in the book he references this economist guy. His name's like Ron Navo or something like it's a I can't even remember, but it's an anagram of his own name. And they were saying he's just some guy he made up. It's a fictional character, an anagram of his own name he uses as an economist expert to validate his own theories. This is the president's chief economic advisor, who's also a convicted felon who did prison time just last year. As a matter of fact, he got out of prison and went straight to the RNC. Fresh out of prison. For refusing to testify in front of Congress about the dirty shit that Donald Trump had done. Guy's a true believer. A soldier who went to prison for Trump. So Trump is going to back him no matter what. That's all that matters to Trump, is being loyal, and he's the most loyal of nutlickers. You know, when you go to prison, it's pretty. I mean, there's not much of a bigger nutlicker move than to go to prison for another guy. See, I can't understand that level of commitment to another person. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a loyal person. I'd do anything for people that I care about. But like, if my friend did some crime, and I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll take the rap for you. That's how much I love you. Like, I don't love no one that much. Although, you know, I mean, I guess. But see, if there was a mob story, if you were like, Trump is a mobster, and Peter Navarro went to prison because he refused to testify against him, you'd be like, that's a fucking good story. Right? Because they're criminals, and like, that's the criminal code. You're like, all right, he stuck to the criminal code, that's awesome. You're talking about the President of the United States. Why is a mob story involving the President of the United States? You ever ask yourself that? And people go, oh, this stuff is all made up about Trump. He's not. It's like, dude, these people are criminals. Like, right? They live by the criminal code. That's what he wants. That's why he fired everybody in the government to replace him with loyal nutlickers. Because that's what a good Don does, right? Right? You take over the family and you find the guys that are loyal to the old boss or whatever, and you fucking get rid of them. You got bumped off or killed or kicked out, or, you know. And you replace them with loyal nutlickers who are loyal to you. And I said, this isn't the mafia, this is the fucking United States government. That's what this tariff thing is. It's a shakedown. It's a mob shakedown. It's like a protection racket. Right? He's like, oh, well, I'll tax the fuck out of you until you give me what I want. Like, that's what he's thinking. Yes. He wants to be Don Corleone. Yes. Pretty much. He wants to sit at Mar-a-Lago and have everybody come down there. My daughter, can you help my... And he's like, I'll ask you a favor, and I might not ever ask it in return. But if I do ask you, we'll better fucking do anything I fucking say. And that's what I'm saying, is he thinks he's going to do that to China. That's what I think is funny. The very hubris that you think. I said, you obviously don't know anything about Asian history or Chinese history, because they will literally build a wall around themselves and let their people starve before they fucking bend their knee to you. I tell you that right now. I don't know if you remember Tiananmen Square, but, you know, they don't mind just straight mowing over their own people. They don't give a fuck. You know how many people Mao killed in the Cultural Revolution? Yeah. It's quite a bit. Right next door is Cambodia. You ever heard of Pol Pot? That's what I'm saying. Like, these people, you see North Korea, they don't mind the fucking trash their own people. They're the meat grinder. They've got their own. They've sent North Koreans to Ukraine to die on the battlefield for Russia because they don't care about their own people. They don't care. Their people are cattle to be used by the leaders to do whatever they want to get, to exert their will. Speaking of that, I don't know if you heard this, but some Chinese soldiers were captured in Ukraine. Zelensky said it yesterday. I guess they were captured last night. Chinese. So not only do you got North Koreans, now you got Chinese in Europe. And Trump is going to pull out the 10,000 troops and open the door for westward expansion. I said, Europe better get moving. Because this is going to get a lot worse before it gets better. Seems to me. And I said, we're not even 100 days. You realize that? It's not even like 80 days. I think somebody said 77 yesterday. It's like 78 or 79 days. That's it. And Trump has changed the whole balance of everything in 90 days. It's and who knows what's going to happen now. Like I said, his tariffs go into effect at midnight. And if he doesn't back off this thing with China, the tariffs would be 104% on all Chinese goods. Walmart is no longer rolling back prices. The prices are moving quite forward. It won't be too much longer when you walk in. I mean, if this really happens, if he doesn't call it off before midnight, yeah, Walmart. You go to Walmart tomorrow, maybe not tomorrow, but in the next week or so, you're gonna find out that everything will be twice as expensive. It's really gonna be something, or it won't be nothing, or there'll be nothing, or China will shut off all the shipment, and you'll go to Walmart and all the shelves will be empty. About the 20th, people talk about that all the time. Like I said before, I think it's hard. It's gonna be hard to lock down all 50 states. And once he does that, people will start. Like I said, you already see all these people in the street, but once he does that, there'll be even more people in the streets, and they can't stop. There's a lot of people in this country. There's millions and millions of people on the street. They can't stop that. But that's what I'm saying is the level of apathy and stupidity in this country is making it so that once they get to that point, you're already on the precipice of it being too late. You know what I mean? Like, because people don't listen to people when they're trying to fucking warn them about what's happening to them. You turn on Fox News, and Jesse Waters said yesterday, these tariffs, they're going to bring back masculinity. And people going to put them like that. That's another thing is the right has some kind of weird obsession with masculinity, whatever that means. Masculine, manly man, they're going to be like John Wayne or Clint Eastwood or Charles Bronson. It's like manly man, that punch people in the face and shoot people. It's like, I don't understand it. I don't get it, but they talk about it all the time. That's what the trans thing is about. Like, the trans people are a direct threat to your masculinity, and you're like, really? Because I'm still a dude. Doesn't make me feel less of a dude. There's a trans person over there. I could give a fuck less. Joy says next nationwide protest April 19th. I feel it's going to be way more than 5.2 million this time. Yeah, good. Good. We need 100 million people out in the street. Now that'll fucking wake them up. People need to understand how serious the situation is. I don't think that they do, like I said. Every day they creep a little farther and a little farther and a little farther. And once they go that far, they ain't no getting it back. I've said that a million times. That terrible fucking immunity thing that it's like, dude, you can't make the president immune to anything. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. South Korea kicked their president out. Like, how come all these countries, and France just barred Marine Le Pen from running for president because she got caught embezzling a bunch of money? She's a criminal. And there's, oh, it's because it smell like her Nazi politics. It's like, no. No, I don't like the Nazi politics, no. But if you're also a fucking criminal, you shouldn't be able to be the president of any country. People need to wake up. As I said, politics has become the worst of the worst kind of people. Not just here, all over the world. And like I said, these are not the people that you should be giving power to. They're fucking criminals, bro. Marine Le Pen was just a fucking annoying Nazi like J.D. Vance. Let her run for president. But she's embezzling money from her fucking campaign funds. Millions of dollars. Trump's like, oh, probably a bookkeeper there. You know, it's like, yeah, it's like, maybe if she has morons working for her like you. See, that's the other thing is these right-wing people, they're never very smart. That's why I said it. They're not real smart people. They're fanatics. A fanatic is something that it's hard to understand if you're not one, you know. It's like, some people that think I'm a fanatic or a fanatical Trump hater or whatever, but it's like, no, I mean, I just like to know what's going on, and I like to try to share that with other people so that they know what's going on. I look at it like a job. And so, like, for years I built my Facebook page, and like I always said, I was like, it's like a humorous newspaper. You know, it's like there's news and there's jokes and there's memes and there's funny shit. And oh, here I'm doing stand up and you know whatever. And I built the page was big. And I said if I still had that page, we'd be in a different spot right now. And you know, at least I'd be talking to people and I'd be on the radar. But like I said, they killed it. The alt-right came after me and they killed it. But anyway, I'm not a fanatic. When I turn this off, I go watch some music, or I will go up. Like last night, I watched the basketball game. It's like I'm just like anybody else. This is kind of a job for me, I feel like. And I'm used to having like 5 jobs, so like I'm fucking bored as fuck. Since I came back here, I got my one job and then helped my mom out, and the rest of the time I'm just kind of hanging around. So that's why I'm doing this, because I was like, I can't just keep doing nothing. I was going crazy. I was literally losing my mind. You know, like, like I'm used to being busy, and I'm just gonna start doing more stand up. Because I've gotten like agoraphobic, kind of like. I wouldn't say that because I'm not afraid to go out, but like I just keep staying in when gotta wake up early in the morning. So I was having an excuse why I don't. So I haven't gone out to the mics or anything like I should. So now I'm making a schedule for myself. I said, well, it's gonna be like it used to be. On Monday, I'll go to the Commonwealth Sanctuary, which is the church comedy club down in northern Kentucky. I'll go there on Mondays, and then on Tuesdays I'll do this, and then tomorrow, Wednesdays, they have Go Bananas Pro-Am, so I can go there and get on, usually whenever I want. So I'm going to start doing that, and then I do this show on Thursday. The whole time I say I got to work at 6 in the morning every morning. Plus, I got to do whatever my mom wants me to fucking, needs me to do for her. I got to clean up around the house and shit like that because she can't really do it. I think I just got depressed. My life changed so fast. It was kind of like a whew. Well, I was making a living as a comedian, Julia. That's the point. It's like, like I said, my life was everything that I had worked my life to make it to be. I had finally reached the point where I was headlining. I was making enough to live, doing comedy, and it's like I told somebody, you're on the bottom rung of the top. Like once you become a headliner, you're like, okay. You just need one more break. And you can break, It took me a long time to get to that point. And then all this happened and I had to stop. I should be making a living as a comedian. And I will again when this is all over, but until then I'm like stuck in a static place. I'm still doing shows here and there, but I only can go so far. I can only be gone for so long. Well, Julia's, I should still be doing it, yeah, but I can't travel like I was, so, like I said, I think I just got depressed. Hey, Leslie, what's up? Good to see you. I think I just got depressed. I said, my life changed so fast, so drastically, overnight. It was like, I was doing everything I wanted to do, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. I think I just got in a rut, and then I got, and then. So I started staying in. It's good to see you. When I should be going out. So that's what I'm saying is, I recognize that now, and I need to get myself moving. So I'm gonna start doing stand-up on Mondays. And I said do this show on Tuesdays, do stand-up on Wednesdays, do this show on Thursday, and then Friday I'll probably go to a stand-up show somewhere or something, and then Saturday I gotta do this show again, and then that's my one day that I go out. But hopefully by doing mics I should be able to get booked on the some of these local shows. They do have local shows. I just haven't done any because I said I got stuck in a rut. Stuck in a rut. I said I got depressed. I was like, man, fucking bummed out. When your life changes that fast, it's kind of hard to digest it all. You're like, oh man, what am I going to do now? Plus, it's always been weird around here for me because I never really felt like that the comedy scene here accepted me. They definitely never respected me, like, or I never felt that they did. Oh, Leslie, I'm sorry. Did they get it? She says she just got diagnosed, had surgery for stupid breast cancer, so I know life changes quickly. Yes. Yes. Well, I've been through these spots before too. I mean, but no, but did they get it? Are you cured, or do you gotta do chemo, or that sucks? Huh. Or hopefully they caught it early. Oh, she's waiting on the report. Hopefully they caught it early enough that they got it out. Yeah, I know how that is. That sucks. Cancer. My uncle had cancer, but he lived through that. Probably need radiation, maybe chemo. Yeah, my dad's friend had cancer. He had to do chemo and shit, but they eventually got it, and he's still alive. Seems like they're better at it now. Less people. Like, I remember when I was younger, people said they had cancer, they were fucking dead. Like, they they didn't they didn't have the treatments they have now. Like, they have like they've advanced treatment. A lot of cancer they get rid of now. People, of course you'll kick its ass. I know you will. 100%. 100%. You only stop living when you give up. What? Rick Simpson's oil. We'll get rid of it. Yeah. What is it? Cod liver oil. What does Brainworm Bobby say? Drink cod liver oil and take vitamin A. Like, yeah, the cancer's gone, but now my liver's shot. It's like, Gary Massey says, Mom is going through stage 4 breast. Came back after 19 years, but she is in good spirits. So that's good. See? That's the other thing about cancer. It's like, oh, you got rid of it. And then, yeah, but that's no guarantee it won't come back later, which fucking sucks. Cancer sucks. You know, I'm glad that she's doing okay. That's what I think is good spirits is the way. People, I said, you only stop living when you give up. You gotta maintain positive attitude. That's why I keep saying all the time when I be talking about all this shit, I be laughing all the time. It's like, you gotta laugh. That's all you can do. This is also fucking insanely chaotic and fast. You know, this is a lot has happened quickly. It's not even 90 days. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not even 90 days. It's fucking crazy. If anybody was listening, well, you've been listening the whole time, because if anybody here is good at math, can you figure out to me how many days, if you had $2 billion a day, how many days would it take you to get to $10 trillion? Because that's where Trump is right now. He says, we're collecting $2 billion a day. Well, you just burned up 10 trillion. So it's going to be a lot of days before you get back the money that you just gave away. With the stupid... And you're like, he really is that stupid. But yet, in some ways, he's smart. Like, I don't know. They were smart enough to go through the whole government, clean it all out, and replace it with nut lickers. They would bow down when he walks in the room. I still don't you think, like, when you thought, you know, of like an antichrist type person, or, you know, somebody, or like a dictator that people would be drawn to, you know, you would think that he would look like Gavin Newsom, you know, or some smooth talking, slick haired dude, you know, that is like a lawyer kind of, you know, like. You never put up a picture of Donald Trump and be like, yeah, that guy. That's the one. People are gonna be like, this fucking clown, the orange clown with the fucking straw hair that I fucking made fun of 20 years ago. Like, the guy with the bad comb over. That's the guy. You're like, that's like, yeah, that's the guy. Everyone's gonna worship him. Like, yeah, the guy, your fired guy. You're fired guy? Really? That's the part I don't get. Like, I get all of it. I get the historical context for the whole movement, where it came from, what motivates it. I understand, the entire thing. But what I don't get is that they chose this guy. Newt Gingrich was an asshole, but he wasn't a moron. He was a smart guy. Like, now Julia says, my younger sister is mentally challenged but high functioning. She's not smart at all, but her manipulation game is super strong. Reminds me of Dum Dum. Yeah. Yeah. Well, sociopaths manipulate, for sure. But I think it just shows you, like I said, the power of money and television in this country. You put a guy on TV like that, you make it, it's like that's what's going on now. Like, that's why it's chaos, because it's just all he knows how to do is produce a reality television show. So it's like the U.S. government, season 1. I don't know. I think his first term was like a pilot, but like I said, they had the brakes on him because there were people in the government then that were like, you can't do all this crazy shit. And they stopped him. The worst thing that happened, if you ask me, the worst thing that happened in all of this was that people were stupid enough. That's why it goes back to the point I was making earlier. People in this country are stupid. They don't understand how the system works, or what the Constitution really is, and how it protects them. Because they let him pick all those Supreme Court justices, and that's where you fucked up. Because now, like I said, there's no check. When the courts try to check him, he just fucking goes right to the Supreme Court. Yeah, go right to the Supreme Court. And they go 5-4 for Trump. And even Coney Barrett, like I said the other day, I was wrong about Coney Barrett. She went with the liberals today. That's why it's 5-4. Yes, season 2 is really fucking bad. It's gonna get a lot worse. This is just the beginning. That's what I'm saying. People don't understand this stock market shit. Like, yeah, if you have 401k, you see it on the paper, but this is about to get not on paper. This is about to be, like I said, you're gonna go to Walmart and things will be twice as expensive, or they won't be there at all. And either way, it's not good. You go to Walmart and the shelves are empty, like they say happens in communist countries. Remember, you remember the memes? They show the empty shelves and go, this is what happens in Venezuela. Socialism. It's like, yeah, but capitalism only works if it's not ran by fucking morons that don't understand how anything works. And I'm telling you now, if he thinks he's going to wait out China, I said, you're going to suffer. Because China ain't going to bend. I'm surprised they haven't already fucking put another retaliatory tariff on top of his retaliatory tariff. It's going to be like, tariffs are going to be 500%. 500% tariff. Eat both ways. I said, this is just the beginning. You know, like when you're on a roller coaster and the chain is clinking and you're going up the hill, clink, 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 clink. That's what we've been doing now. And tonight at midnight, when these tariffs come on, you're going down the hill. The Trump coaster. You're fine. I'm not going to be here all night. But I usually keep my shows around an hour. I love you too, Leslie. I really appreciate you fucking tuning in. More and more people seem to be watching your show, which I'm glad. I thank you so much. I said I need each and every one of you. And I hope that it's not boring. Tonight was cool because I see people that I haven't seen. And you guys be talking to me. That's what I want. I want the show to be interactive. I don't want me just blaring on for fucking... When I first started doing this show, or when I first thought about doing it, Daniele was like, man, you're going to do 3 shows a week. It's like, it's going to be hard to keep up with content or whatever. And I was like, dude, there's so much shit happening right now. There's been no shortage of things to talk about. That's for sure. It's all happening so fast and in real time. And I said days go by and it just gets worse every day. But see, I've seen the people out. I went out and I saw the people. They're out there, and I said, "There's more and more of them coming out." And I said, "What you said, the 19th? I'll be out there." I'll make another little film. I plan to try to be in the middle of stuff. What did Hakeem Jeffries say the other day? I'm sorry, Cory Booker. We're getting good trouble. That was the. That's what. God damn it! That's what John Lewis used to say. Let's get getting in good trouble. And that's what I plan to do until they start fucking dragging us off. This guy, this is another thing to write. I should pull up these comments because they're so ridiculous. This guy was saying, oh, they all say the same shit. Like, oh, I used to be a Democrat. I used to be kind of liberal. And then they started telling me to hate myself because I'm a white man, you know, and you're like, dude, what the fuck are you talking about? It's like, well, I'm a white dude. I don't hate myself. You know, there's nothing. They act like if you're honest about the history of this country, that means you hate yourself. And that's not true at all. Like, it's become, you know, they used to say, with racist dudes to say, when they have a black friend, they'll be like, yeah, but he's one of the good ones. I feel like that's how it's become for us. It's like, yeah, I'm a white. You know why people don't like white American dudes? Because you're a fucking jerk off. That's why. You know, you're like, I'm one of the good ones. I got an honorary black card from the black people in Cincinnati. Which is true. When I used to run my club, they told me, they said, you're an honorary. Here's your card. I'm one of the good ones. I used to always say that to them. It's like, man, you need a tattoo or something. So like, if there really is a race war, you know, you get the certain tattoo. And when the black people see you and they're like, get him! You go, wait! And they go, oh, he's cool. Because I don't want to be hanging out with the Klan. Which is what a race war is, right? You gotta hang out with your own people. Like, fuck you. I don't want to hang out with... Like, if I went to prison, let's just say, if I went to prison, I don't want to be in the Aryan Nation. I'd rather be in the Mexican Mafia or whatever the black people have. That's like... Because... racist white people are just kind of fucking stupid. They're not real fun to hang around. At least black people in Mexicans like music. And yeah, play basketball or whatever. It's like, what does the Aryan Nation do? I don't know. It's like, I don't really want to know. Sit around writing letters with their own piss. I mean, invisible ink.
I can use ChatGPT to answer that.
No, shut up. See, my phone's listening to me and thinks that I asked it a question, which I did not. Saw the meeting made MAGA even though they won because they're being judged by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. Yeah. Yeah. They're assholes. That's what I say. I grew up around here. I always like the white people around here. Not all of them. There's plenty of liberal, decent, intelligent white people, but there's a lot of fucking just like rural hicks. They're like Trump. They fucking vote Thomas Massey and over and over and over. James Comer comes from here. That should tell you something. What a fucking moron that guy is. But yeah, Kentucky proud. Usually I bang on Rand Paul, but Rand Paul's standing up to Trump now, so I gotta leave him alone. I don't mean I like him. I do not like Rand Paul, but I will not bang on him if he's going to be one of the first Republicans to try to stand up to Trump. This is what people don't get either, because of how the system works. See, Congress could stop this right now. Congress could put a bill on the floor before midnight. Vote, pass a law, take back the tariff power from the president, and turn it all off. But they won't, because the Republican Party is owned by Trump and nutlickers, and they're going to go down with the ship. Although there's some turning. I saw a thing tonight that said there were 12 Republicans that were willing to sign on to some bill that they're trying to stop these tariffs. And if that's true, if they can get 12 in the House, they could pass a bill. And there's already senators that are against what's going on right now. So if you could pass a bill through both houses, like I said, before midnight tonight, you could stop this from happening. Will they? I don't know. You can't trust the Republican Party anymore. That's the point. Can't trust them. They're all Trump nutlickers. They've given up the power of Congress. Trump has passed no laws. Trump has ruled like a dictator with executive orders. And the only good thing about this situation is, like I said, in 4 years, if we get rid of Trump, I mean, he'll be gone, but if you don't elect J.D. Vance or if you elect a Democrat, you can erase his entire presidency. That's why they need to jam this bill, this budget bill. That's what they're trying to do. Because, like I said, you can erase everything he did overnight. You can abolish all of his executive orders. So that's the only silver lining to this situation. Is 3.5 years seems like a long time, but in 3.5 years you could erase, especially if they take back the House and Congress. If the Democrats have a Congress, Republicans, get rid of the Republicans, take over the House of Representatives, take over the Senate, and then win the presidency, they could erase Trump's presidency and then write a bunch of laws. Yeah, they can override the veto. That's what I'm saying. They need more than 12. They want to override a veto. But still, they can force him to veto it, which puts everything on him. At least some of them can say, well, we tried to stop it. And that's better than what we have now, which is nothing. People just laying down. So, you got to take the signs of encouragement before you can get them. That's what I'm saying. If more and more people come out in the streets, more and more people go to them town halls, these Republicans got to do something, or they'll be, don't do anything, we vote them out. This is the problem, is the Marjorie Taylor Greens and these people, they just keep getting voted in and in over and over and over and over. You want to stop shit, you got to get rid of these people. You got to get rid of not just Trump, you got to get rid of all of them. Gotta get rid of the Lauren Boeberts and the fucking Marjorie Greens and the fucking Mark Wayne Mullins and the fucking, they're all over the place. The Tommy Tuberville, what a fucking moron that guy is. My head hurts when he talks. It's like, oh my God, this guy. What do you expect from Alabama? It's like, that? That's what I expect. But Georgia, come on. You got Atlanta, there's no reason for you to have Marjorie Taylor Greene as your most well-known representative. Yeah, you know that moronic bitch that's always running her mouth? Yeah, that's my representative. I can't speak much. You know who mine is? Massey. Since I moved home, my rep is Thomas Massey. Which, the only good thing about Thomas Massey is that he votes no on everything. Because they never cut enough for him. Here's a bill that cuts half of the budget and kicks 80% of elderly people off their Social Security and Medicare. And he's like, that's not enough. No. And he votes no. Because he's fucking nuts. Trump said he's going to try to get rid of Massey. So, like I said, I'm hoping that he picks Scott Jennings to come up here. This Jennings is from Kentucky. And try to unseat Massey, because I'll go to those fucking things. I'll make you all kinds of films if that happens, because I said that Jennings versus Massey. Battle of the douchebags. Who will win? I don't know, but I'll be there to ask questions and shit. Can I moderate the debate? That would be awesome. Anyway, I gotta get out of here. We're approaching 1:15. That's what I said. It's like, I'm getting better at doing this, because it was like, oh, it's an hour, do an hour is a struggle, and now I catch myself like, oh, I'm going long again. So I gotta get my shit together. I'm going to, I don't know what I'm going to do. Probably watch Daredevil and go to bed. But anyway, or Anderson Cooper. I like Anderson Cooper. I usually watch some of him. As always, each and every one of you, thank you so much for watching. I said, it seems like more of you are watching, and I appreciate that very much. Remember, I'm here Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. And while it's still legal. Before they come drag me out of here. So I'll be back on Thursday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Thank you all for watching. I am Bruce Leonard. This is Bruce Leonard Leans Left, while it's still legal. Please be safe out there. Hug your loved ones. Good night. Thank you.